Hello, everyone. We are thrilled to share with you about our research today, describing communication profiles for bilingual Jamaican preschoolers. This work is part of the Jamaican Creole Language Project led by Dr. Carla Washington. My name is Rachel Wright-Karam.
And I'm Leslie Kokatek.
And I'm Michelle Leon. Today, we'll describe 3 research studies that address a long-standing need to enhance speech-language pathologists' cultural competence for understudied multilingual populations. This presentation will describe research conducted to expand the theoretical understanding of multilingual language use and apply culturally responsive approaches into clinical practice. By concentrating our work on Jamaican Creole and English language use, we extend beyond the traditionally studied bilingual paradigms, which serves as a model system for helping us understand understudied language pairings and other minority languages. The outcomes of these works provide additional evidence-based resources to increase speech-language pathologists' cultural competence and improve services for a broader range of multilingual preschoolers by mitigating the misidentification of communication disorders and improving intervention outcomes. We'll now briefly discuss and expand upon each study. And to start, here's Rachel.
So the purpose of this first study was to describe the cross-linguistic interactions, also commonly referred to as code mixing, in Jamaican preschoolers' spontaneous productions. We use the Index of Productive Syntax, which is a clinical tool, as well as token-based analyses to quantify and characterize cross-linguistic interactions. Our analyses revealed that all children used cross-linguistic interactions in both Jamaican Creole and in English-speaking contexts. Specifically, interactions were more often used in Jamaican Creole-speaking contexts than in English contexts. And we also identified which specific language domains are most often involved in children's interactions. For example, interactions involving syntax occurred the most often in Jamaican Creole, while phonology occurred the most often in English. And overall, this information provides speech-language pathologists with specific knowledge about the features that underlie cross-linguistic interactions to better understand bilingual children's natural dynamic language use. Now, to describe speech sound production, I'll hand it back over to you, Michelle.
Thanks, Rachel. My project focuses on characterizing speech sound productions in the Jamaican context. So to help us better understand this area of development, we considered speech acoustics such as voice onset time, whole word, and vowel duration, with the expectation that we'll continue to use these findings to later compare to perceptual measures of speech production, such as the intelligibility and context scale, which we previously determined to be a valid and reliable parent questionnaire of functional speech intelligibility in Jamaican Creole and in English. Presently, we compared child productions to adult models from the same linguistic community and found that adults produce longer whole word durations and more consistent pre-voicing during initial plosives compared to children. Results from this study will provide translational evidence for the clinical use of speech acoustics and contribute to our understanding of typical speech characteristics and motor planning schema in the Jamaican context. Now I'll hand it over to Leslie to better understand communicative participation within the Jamaican context.
Thanks, Michelle. This brings us to our final study today, where we consider children's communicative participation, or in other words, how children use their speech and language skills to participate, interact, and socialize in everyday context. Presently, multilingual preschoolers, such as the Jamaican Creole English-speaking children in our study, are at risk for being misidentified with communication disorders, leading to poor educational and social outcomes. This is particularly concerning in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, where social distancing measures have disrupted many traditional peer interactions, limiting the opportunity for children with communication impairments to experience typical peer models. Fortunately, through the Jamaican Creole Language Project and our international telehealth efforts, we have access to an existing corpus of baseline data, offering a comparison of data collected prior to and during the COVID-19 pandemic. Preliminary findings using the FOCUS and ICS have demonstrated the relevance of speech intelligibility for Jamaican children's successful communicative participation, and we are beginning to see emerging themes of reduced opportunities for Jamaican Creole language use for preschoolers who are not able to have face-to-face peer interactions.
Collectively, these studies inform our understanding of multilingualism in an understudied language context across a continuum of speech and language abilities, including speech production and intelligibility, language interactions, and communicative participation. We'd like to thank you all for your time and your very kind attention.